Hey YouTube. So recently there's been a lot of discussion about Nuntfancy, and especially after his Sabenza video. It caused a lot of uproar, I guess, among the collector community, you know. And so I was just watching a Smokeeater908's video about a comparison between $20 to $400 knives, and I just wanted to share some of my thoughts on value and perceptions of value, as well as on Nuntfancy, because I do have a lot of things to say about both of those topics. So, to value. Really, the bottom line is I don't get why knives like the Sabenza just get so much hate from a lot of these, a lot of these people, these users. They see these. It's almost like they resent the fact that they don't own them. It's funny, almost. It's like jealousy. But I mean, these people that comment, it's like, I'll take my, you know, I'll get 20 buck 110s over the Sabenza, or my Gerber stays sharp and is hardy, and I can get as many of them as I want, rather than owning a Sabenza or some crap like that. And you know what? To that I say, all right, I understand that it's not everyone has $400 to spend on a knife. That's to say that everyone should just own a Sabenza because they're perfect is ridiculous. I have yet to own a Sabenza, but that's for different reasons. It's just, in my opinion. So recently I was thinking, and really you can compare knives, like these mid-techs and custom knives, to art. Why do people buy paint on canvas? Van Gogh. Now he's acclaimed as one of the greatest impressionists of, ever. His art goes from millions to priceless. Yet, when he was alive and he was painting, it was worthless. He couldn't even sell his art. And basically, what these higher end knives are, they're art. All right, and the value of art is measured in appreciation, and appreciation is a relative currency. It's so I understand why people, wouldn't want to buy a high-end knife, but I mean, all the hate that they give to them and people that collect them, it's ridiculous. Like I said before, it's a relative currency, and you put whatever value you want on anything. There's some sort of appreciation for it, and people will buy it. And also, I mean, it's not just that. It's also that it's not like these $400 knives don't perform. All right, if CRK knives were just total poop, but were worth $400 and just look pretty, but I mean, couldn't hold an edge for crap and soft titanium, then I would say don't get them, but they do, and they function perfectly. Chris Reeve knives are literally just a perfect implementation of the knife. The knife, it's a blade and it's a handle. Folding knife has a pivot. And Chris Reeve knives is just, it's perfection for what that is. It has a blade, it has a knife, and a pivot. And there's nothing wrong with it within there. All that's left to judge it is your own perceptions of costs, your own relative value, your own, when I talk about relativity, it's like people are like, oh, I can buy 10 of this knife. Well, but that's just money. Appreciation also is a factor, that needs to be accounted for here. And, yeah, on to Nuntfancy. Alright, so I'm a young guy, and Nuntfancy is one of the big factors into getting me into knives. And just because I'm doing this doesn't mean I don't like him still. Alright, I like Nuntfancy. He puts out good knife reviews. He's devoted. Alright. But at the same time, he is turning into the biggest hypocrite. I swear. I remember when Nuntfancy used to swear against groupthink and all this forum thing. These like people thinking the same things just because they haven't tested it. And here he is doing the same exact thing. He's got his rabid subscriber base, and he's telling them to think as he does, and they do. He has created the very thing that he swore against, and might continue to swear against. I don't know, but I remember, like a year or two ago, he was vehemently against this groupthink, and he has created one of the largest groupthinks in the knife community. Actually, the largest groupthink in the knife community, and also he claims to be so unbiased, an unbiased reviewer, yet he's out there banning and censoring and deleting comments. He doesn't accept opinions other than praise, and that's ridiculous. It's just ridiculous. How can you claim to be unbiased, an unbiased reviewer, if the only opinions you listen to are those are your own? I mean, I get testing things for yourself, but there's a line between like self-discovery and arrogance and ignorance, There's a point where, sure, you're finding things out for yourself, but at the same time, what you're doing is basically thinking these people as idiots. I mean, they have opinions too, and when you don't agree with them, what are they to you? They're nothing to you, and that's wrong. All right, everything should be considered. You might not agree with it, and that's fine, but don't censor it for everyone, for the thousands of your subscribers to see, or to not see, rather. You're like Big Brother here. You're telling them, you're, repeating over and over what they should think. And then the second someone comes along with a different opinion, you cut them out of the picture so they don't get that. And that's just wrong. All right? And once again, Nuntfancy, I like your videos, but it's ridiculous. It is. So that was my little rant on things. Hope you enjoyed.